think you should.
What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video we'll be looking at Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, as well as Syndicator coins. So shout out to Angie Furs for commenting her top altcoin of choice. We will be looking at that today. Let's just jump right into the cryptocurrency market cap. I'm just going to refresh the page so we can get a better view of what we're looking at. As this loads up, let's see. Not sure what the heck that's all for, but it should just refresh. There we go. Okay, so market cap 250 billion, so I believe that's $10 billion less than yesterday. Market is looking a little low as for right now. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Bitcoin dominance obviously up. As you can see, a lot of money is moving out of altcoins. Yeah, a lot of money is moving out of altcoins. Bitcoin seems to be the lowest, as you'll notice, which is around what could be figured with the cryptocurrency right about now. If we look at Litecoin, very, very, very interesting chart. You can see obviously where we are standing and what we do need to do. Litecoin does need to stay above the line of resistance for us to continue moving up higher. Obviously testing that bottom right now. The longer we hang out there, the more we're looking bearish on Litecoin at the moment. But there has been a lot of good news in Litecoin recently about its company as a whole and what it's planning on doing and where it's planning on moving in the cryptocurrency world and in the business world. So again, we are still looking for that break and that movement up. We need to get that volume back into cryptocurrency. Obviously, it's not there right now, but I do think it should be there. Looking at this chart from far away like this, you'll notice that we are coming to an end on this chart right now. Like this pennant flag is coming to an end. And if I zoom a little bit farther out, you'll notice that we've had those flags in the past. Like right here, we've had this flag. Here's one. The line can be drawn all the way out, or we can just draw it right here. Here's another one. If we move a little bit farther back, we can just fix this line right here. Just going to pop this right here and move that right here. So you'll notice how Litecoin does its moves. You can see right here on this breakout how we obviously shot up and then came down back to where it started. So you can see right here we shot up, came back down to where it started, broke out again. We move on in history and you can see again what we did. We shot up, we came back down, funneled, and then popped out. Now, I want you guys to notice that in this chart, where do you see us hanging out? We're not hanging out at the top like this. We hung out at the bottom, and we hugged the line of support at the bottom, setting higher lows. Continuing upwards, we eventually popped right out here and moved up higher. Now, if we just zoom to where we are today, you'll notice the opposite, or a little bit of both. We're now hanging out in two spots. We hung out at the top, and now we're hanging out at the bottom. So now what we're looking for, and it's still okay for us to hang out at the bottom where we are. Obviously, the longer we hang out there, the more of a chance to break downwards, but it's still possible to break upwards. We've hung out at the bottom here, and looking back at those pendant flags, every time we fell, we got the negative comments. Every time we fell lower, people were like, oh, cryptocurrency is over, it's done, don't invest. So I'm not trying to like spread FUD or have hope. I'm just kind of showing you the analytics off the past. Looking at the old graph, the one that happened in previous, compared to now, we can still hug this and we can be fine. As long as we continue to hug this line, we're okay. We're still looking for that volume to move into crypto and then a pop upwards, obviously, to the MMA and breaking this line E here. We are looking to most likely hug this line and just consolidate a little longer and then get a rush that we're looking for into higher highs. But I still think Litecoin's on track. I still think we're in a good position right now. I don't see any kind of worries right now. Nothing worries me. Yeah, we are a little close to the line of support. We're very close to the line of support here. But I do expect to bounce off that quite quickly. We could hug it which might happen, but being that we're under the middle moving average and we are pretty oversold on the RSI, are good indicators that we are looking to go higher. We did test D, and now we're looking for an E. So there's a lot of good indicators on the graph. Let's see if I just zoom out and look at the last boom we had. Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull the 4 hours so we can get a better look-see at what is happening. Where did it go? Okay, right here. Alright, so let's check this out now. Keep in mind, alright, here we are. So what we're looking for is the Elliott wave breakout that we've had in the past. We're now looking for it again on this graph. Now this is the first time I'm drawing it, so let's just see what we can find. Here we go. We gotta find the chart first. Here we go. Now let's just zoom in a little bit. So let's get out the Elliott wave. Where is it? Here we go. Elliott wave. So we started at A, so probably down here. Went to here, A. We have a B right around here. We have a C, obviously. Then we have a D. This could be D. Very tough. We could say this being D, this being E right here. So we do have an Elliott wave. Let's just move this right here. You can see the 5 points of contact we had. A, B, C, D, E. If we just zoom in here, you can see what exactly happened. Maybe we can correct this graph a little better. We could even put this down here. And then we had E up here. So it did consolidate a little more, but for the most part, we broke out after E. So we basically had to see all the points, the 5 points, before we broke into an upwards trend. And every triangle that we've had on Litecoin has broken upwards. You can see if I just zoom out how it always forms these mini triangles. You have one here, we have a bigger one here, now we're having an even bigger one. So if we just continue repeating history, we should see a higher movement. Like, it's, I kind of want to get my point out that, like, just because new investors and that the stocks are taking advantage of cryptocurrency, it still is repeating the past. We've had this breakout here, this pennant flag triangle that formed. Now we have another one on a bigger scale. It's pretty much doing what it's been doing, you know, nothing has changed. So don't be worried too much about what has happened, because it's literally repeating itself. Like, if we did this a few months ago and I showed you this graph, ooh, whoa. If I showed you this triangle before it broke out, we would literally be having the same conversations, and then we popped upwards. So that's what we're looking for as we near the end of this triangle. Obviously, this is a little longer than what we planned, but as we end the triangle, we should expect a run higher. Obviously, it could break lower, but I expect a higher run based on history. If we look on Bitcoin, kind of the same thing. We got point D right around here, consolidating at the bottom though, but we again should see a movement upwards to E. That's what we're looking for. We could even hug this bottom, which we're most likely going to do based on the amount of volume that we have in cryptocurrency, but we're most likely going to hug the bottom here, pop out of this line of resistance. That's going to be the big one. When we get closer to the line of resistance here, that's going to be the big test for Bitcoin and Litecoin, whether or not we can break above that, test the MMA, break above the MMA, and then go to higher highs. But I do think that this is going to happen based on history. The fact that crypto is still a new technology that's working, I think it's going to bring us higher. Let's look at Ethereum. Like I said, consolidation between these lines, like so. I do think we're going to see a run with Ethereum too. When Bitcoin and Litecoin go, Ethereum is going to go too. You guys can be anti it, but I still think that's what's going to happen. We can even bet on it. I do think that Ethereum is going to pop out of this line of resistance when it gets closer to this line of support here. We're going to look at Litecoin. You'll notice that it's kind of the end of April now. and if we look on Ethereum, it's a little bit sooner, kind of like the 15th. The other one was like the 22nd, so about a week off. But give or take, we should see a movement upwards again, oversold again, lower than the MMA. That seems to be the thing across the board with the blue chips. So when money moves in, it's going to move everything up, and that's honestly what I see happening. Let's look at Syndicator coin. Obviously, we can see two things. We can see this clear line of support right here, and then we see this downtrend. A very, very, very long, tedious downtrend. Where to draw it? This is a tough draw. I'd honestly say this was the first one. Something like that. We hugged it, popped up, and are now just hodling this line right here, or hugging this line. Tough say for Syndicator because of the position, but basically what's going to happen is this is the channel right here of the next line of support. So if we do break lower, we're going to hit this line of support right here and then hopefully bounce up off that. But we seem to be averaged out in the middle on the middle moving average. So, on the RSI. So not much movement should be happening right this moment. We're kind of consolidating for a very long time. And honestly, what's going to happen with Syndicator is what's going to happen with the rest of cryptocurrency. Right now, Syndicator is consolidating and waiting for movement. It's waiting for volume to either leave or come into the market, and that's pretty much going to tell us what's going to happen with Syndicator. So what we're looking for now, and what we've been waiting for, is a movement in crypto and that volume that we need, either to come in or to go out. That's what we're waiting on. That's going to be the biggest decision that's going to basically influence the market. I do think money is going to come into cryptocurrency soon rather than later. So just be patient, guys. Keep hodling. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. I apologize if this was a quick video and didn't have much to talk about, but I try and keep you guys updated every day. Some days are going to be a little more boring than others, but again, if you like the video, leave a comment below as to what your top altcoin is, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.